All right, you guys asked me to bring final points back, and your wish is my command. So here is one final point before we go. There's a reason the mainstream media and the Democrats went ballistic over the Haitian migrant crisis in Springfield, Ohio. I'm sorry, they didn't go ballistic over the crisis itself. The fact that 20,000 Haitian migrants are overflowing the small town, which coincidentally is 40 minutes from where I grew up, causing car accidents because they're driving without driver's license, without speaking English, with no knowledge of our road laws, overwhelming schools with non-English speaking students, eating cats and other pets, living sometimes 20 to an apartment on cots that landlords are renting by the head, which leaves residents of Springfield without affordable housing. No, the mainstream media wasn't mad about any of that. The media went ballistic at us for noticing. Racist, they cried. You're a racist if you don't want third world culture imported here to your neighborhood. You're a racist if you dare to admit that the small town of Springfield has been overwhelmed, and not in a good way, by the mass migration sponsored by the Kamala Harris, Joe Biden administration. And today, I'm going to show you why the mainstream media went ballistic. Please focus your eyes on this video. This is Aaron Heitke. He's the former chief Border Patrol agent at U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Take a listen to what he says.
In San Diego, we had an exponential increase in significant interest aliens. These are aliens with significant ties to terrorism. Prior to this administration, the San Diego sector averaged 10 to 15 SIA arrests per year. Once word was out the border was far easier to cross, San Diego went to over 100 SIAs in 2022, well over that in 2023, and even more than that registered this year. These are only the ones we caught. At the time, I was told I could not release any information on this increase in SIAs or mention any of the arrests. The administration was trying to convince the public there was no threat at the border.
You heard that statistic. 10 times as many illegal border crossers who have ties to terrorism under Kamala Harris and Joe Biden compared to President Trump. 10 times as many. And Kamala Harris tried to shut him up, told him he couldn't talk about it because Kamala Harris didn't want the public, you and I, to know. Meanwhile, in the United States Congress, over 150 congressional Democrats voted no on a bill that would deport illegal aliens who've committed murder or violence against women or committed sex crimes like rape against women and children. Let me repeat. Over 150 Democrats voted no. Which brings me all the way back to the beginning. Why did the mainstream media and Democrats go ballistic about the Haitian migrant crisis in Springfield, Ohio? Or rather, why did they go ballistic at us for noticing the crisis? Because they don't care. They don't care that mass migration hurts you. They don't care about the fentanyl being trafficked across our border, the young men in our country dying in droves from overdose. They don't care about schools being overwhelmed by non-English speaking students. They don't care about car wrecks or children who are killed by car wrecks because the cars were driven by migrants who couldn't speak English and didn't have a driver's license. They don't care about an overwhelmed welfare system, you and I paying for these migrants. They don't care about the crime in our neighborhoods and our cities that's ravaging our families. They don't care about illegal aliens and migrants with ties to terrorism coming into our country and then disappearing. All they care about is flooding our borders, sabotaging our sovereignty, bloating Democrat representatives in Congress because they know that they'll get more Democrat representatives if there are more illegal aliens in our country, because when there's redistricting, illegal aliens are counted as part of those districts. So the more illegal aliens that go to blue states, the more Democrat representatives will go to Congress to tilt elections towards the Democrats. And ultimately, of course, legalizing all of these illegals who will then be coerced into voting Democrat under threat of Republicans will deport you unless you vote for us, thereby securing Democrat election victories in perpetuity. Because of the sheer number of illegals they've invited to flood our neighborhoods and change the fabric of our nation. This is the Democrats. This is what they want. They invented this border crisis. They opened our border. They invited the migrant invasion. They're exacerbating it. They yell at you when you notice it. They couldn't care less if you get hurt in the process. This is all you need to know when you cast your ballot. Nobody in their right mind should vote Democrat. And that is my final point.